in the evening that tomorrow we need to have the applications and there'll be, that is the end. Most of the times, the women who have, particularly the young women who have to go home early and tend to the other duties that call, don't have the time to put up the application. So most of the times they don't they get time bad, but we need to give them ample time, reasonable time. And in case there is none who has put up an application, we just headhunt. Yeah. But this particular one did come to our attention, and there are instances when we used to make so much news about women until now we decided we are not going to talk, we are going to be men also. So that particular one, I think it's our attention, and we are going to look at which one.
Engineer, there is
that.
Engineer, I am an aspiring clinician.
I'm not hearing. I cannot hear you.
I'm saying.
Hello? I did not hear that. Hello?
Oh, Ndolo, could you like speak louder?
Or you echo it for him. You tell me what he has said.
Okay. Ndolo, what could you say it again? I'll see whether I can hear. So he says he's in a noisy place.
Yeah.
Just the last call for questions. Anyone with a question before engineer gives her parting shot and her pitch. So engineer, I think your parting shot and pitch on why members should vote for you.
Yes. Thank you very much. Engineers, I'm requesting you to vote for me because I'm the face of continuity in the council. There's a lot of work we have started, and we need to continue the good work. We are talking about the online application online election module. That was my brainchild. The first people to work on it was myself. I was the chairperson of that committee again at that time. We worked on it with Engineer Okesh, Engineer Askari, and Engineer Wanyonyi. And there is a lot that we need to improve on it. And I want to continue doing improvement. Secondly, there is the work that I'm passionate about, the work of inclusivity. We need to have everybody on the table. We've proven that in any exercise where we have both male and female, work is always done very well. And the competencies that the men don't have, like when it comes to logistics, where we have succeeded in the logistics, the women are the ones who are the gurus of the logistics. Then the men will come in with their energy to finish out. A case in point I have is the last World Engineers Day that we did on the 4th of March. The women were very instrumental in the planning. We did the planning and everything came out well. But when it came to the welcoming of the guests and the wearing of the suits to welcome the guests, then the men came. So we complement one another. I have a whole world of networks, having worked in KPLC in business development. Now I'm working in contract project management in Kenya Power. My networks are so wide, so such that when it comes to even planning for the conference, looking for guests, looking for funding for the conference, I'm always handy. I'll give you an example of last year when I managed through my influence to get over almost 40 engineers from Kenya Power who attended the conference, and then all my other contacts So under my umbrella, there were many engineers who came to the conference just because of my influence. So I'm an asset to the council, and it is my, I like working with people. I like mentorship. I like talking to the young people, old people, and therefore I request all of you vote for me so that I can continue with the good work. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So Engineer Emelda, please pardon us. So Cedric is back and he says he has a question on GE issues. Cedric, could you go ahead?
Engineer.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask you a question on GE issues, because
yes.
GE issues, GEs, apart from being the majority of the membership,
yes,
they are also the future of the fraternity. And all
yes.
of us, we are GE first before we go to where we are, including yourself. So
yes.
my question was this, what is your opinion on the impacts GEs have on institution in terms of participating in the activities? Number two, GEs voting rights in the elections, and number three, GEs being part of the committees formulated by IEK. What is your take on those three issues?
I've said that I like inclusivity. Inclusivity, but inclusivity is for all. Yeah, I'm a diversity champion. Honestly, I've always wanted the GE to participate from the very bottom of my heart, to participate in almost all the activities of IEK. Even when it comes to these activities that I'm talking about, like the world engineers, most of the people I saw around were the GEs. When you talk about the PIPs, even the conferences, GEs come. But it's unfortunate that we always invoke the constitution that says that GEs are not supposed to vote. I recognize the fact that GEs, they give us a lot of money in terms of their annual subscriptions, and that therefore entitles them to some rights. Many of my colleagues, the Ps, they say that those rights are denied in order to make you to agitate for registration. But we should think about it, we should think around it, so that we, as much as we are encouraging you to be Ps, my thoughts would be to consider allowing you some rights as you work through to become a P and also to become a consultant. But you see, sometimes when you invoke the constitution, even if you have your passionate thoughts, your love for the Gs, then you are shut down. You have to follow the constitution. And we are reviewing the constitution, my dear friend. We can give our contributions if the constitution is reviewed and the Gs are allowed, because they are members of the profession. I look at the lawyers, all the lawyers, they participate in all the activities. It's only that they have to be, they have to recognize the fact that they are the senior, they're seniors, the senior counsel. So that is what we should also try and copy from the lawyers. But as for now, we are restricted by the constitution, which we are going to review in due course.
Thank you so much for your take, Engineer. I'm really happy that it's actually coming from the bottom of your heart, as you said, because I have very many friends who are also colleagues in the fraternity who are Gs and would like me to be part of the institution. Now, my second question about some of the regulations by the imposed on engineers by the regulator EBK. Now, as a member of the executive committee in the council, I don't know if it was made aware to the council that IEBK now, as we speak, demands you to have your corporate certificates and the EBK registration certificate to be certified by a lawyer for them to use it, but to take it back for them to use it to give you a license. I mean, it's ridiculous. If why should EBK tell me to certify my EBK certificates for them to use it in processing the EBK license? I mean, I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, engineer.
I get you. I get you very much. We had our first meeting with EBK last Friday. We've been pushing for this meeting, but you know, most of last year there was no there was no board in EBK. But last Friday we had our first meeting, and whatever you are asking was one of the agenda items. We didn't see the reason why we have to go to a lawyer in order to get an affidavit, particularly for all people who have been professional engineers before, registered with EBK. Then suddenly this thing comes into play. It was one of the agenda items, but we didn't conclude. So these are conversations that are still going on. We even proposed whether we could now maybe just bring in one lawyer to sign the affidavit for the engineers at IEK at a subsidized cost. Those are thoughts that are still ongoing, and it also concerned us, having to look for a lawyer where you pay 2,000 for the affidavit and the money goes to the lawyers. You know, that is why we need the numbers, the numerical strength in IEK, so that when these regulations are being made, we have representations. But when we have only council members, you know, in the council, there are just about 12 of us. So sometimes, because of the numbers we have, some of the representations where the regulations are being made, the laws are being made, we cannot be there all the time. And that is why we are pleading with all the engineers to join the institution so that we pull together and be on close so that nothing takes us by surprise, including this one that has taken place with the...
Yeah, thank you so much, engineer, for that. Which brings me to my second question about the same.
This is the third one now.
Has no, about EBK issue regulations.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm so passionate about the institution. That's why I'm asking all these questions. My question is this: IEK has representation in EBK. So, yes. What is your opinion on the people who are selected to join the EBK to represent IEK interests? Because the feeling that we have right now as members, the people whom we send to EBK from IEK have become EBK 100%. So, because there is no reason why Engineer Emelda should start holding numerous meetings.
Now you are pulling my leg too far. You know, some of those people are my colleagues in the council at the moment, and I hope they're hearing you so that they change.
You cannot have
we normally send them there to represent IEK. I don't know what happens when they go there. I don't want
so
to.
You don't have.
It's just the same way we have priests going to parliament, and when they get to parliament, we find that even the priests for us. I don't know.
But you would accept that the framework we have now of sending people to EBK.
They are supposed to. Ideally, they are supposed to represent the interests of IEK.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So whether they do that or not, that is their own individual responsibility. And we are planning of even having them take oaths next time. So
thank you. That would be very nice. That'd be very good, engineer.
When they get there, they represent IEK. They don't change after oathing with the Bible.
Thank you so much. That would be very nice. Thank you. Diana, I'm done. Thank you, engineer, for your time. And you're answering my question.
Okay. Thank you, Cedric, and thank you also, engineer, for answering the question. Before I give Abdifata a chance, because I can see his hand is up, I'll ask, on behalf of Ndolo has asked, why can't we take up technology to allow women to take part in all functions of the society? And he continues to ask, I don't know what's the clarification is, but he's saying like, what I infer from it is that does technology should technology allows access to information and access to all sectors. So why can't we take it up to allow women to take part in all functions of the society? I wish she was not in a noisy place. Or Ndolo, can you clarify your question on the chat?
I'm a woman and he's a man. Eh? There are instances when we both come from work and the woman is in the kitchen. You are cooking, you are stirring that ugali. How would you participate in maybe like now the interview I'm doing? If I was cooking ugali or I have a little baby, I'm bathing the baby or rocking the baby to sleep. It is not possible. Some of these things they are talking about, it is the women who feel it. And that's why we are saying in all the committees, we need to have a woman face, somebody who can empathize with the women issues, the kind of things we do, the kind of things. Like, for example, if you are bathing a baby in the evening, you are from work, honestly, which technology would you use to enable you participate in the whatever you are supposed to do, or even to prepare for an interview?
Oh yeah, he's saying that webinar can allow women to meet even in the evening, or rather at home. What's your take on that?
Because they don't know, yeah. Diana. I'm talking about having to go to the kitchen, to cook, to stir food. Those are things women do. Diana, can you tell them?
Engineer.
Yeah.
Engineer.
So then there are instances when even as a woman, you can't sit back and let the maid do everything for you. Those are challenges that I need to tell you, young men.
Engineer.
Because when you allow the maid to do everything for you, then the maid can take over everything and take over even your man. So there are instances when you have to.
Yeah. Now, engineer, the thing is this.
Even breastfeeding a baby.
Just a minute. You see,
I am a feminist, and I am a feminist like you, and I agree with you in terms of unpaid labor and everything. Women tend to do more labor than men. But yes, on that I agree with you. So Ndolo, I can hear you talking.
Now, engineer, the future is said to be feminine. That's what I read recently. There's a paper that was published by Elsevier, and it's saying the future is feminine. Now, it is good. Meetings cannot take place more than 1 hour if you do it on webinar, for example. You can have a short meeting for maximum 30 minutes. People don't have to travel all the way.
Possible, but I was
to meet physically. I mean, members, we should encourage women to take up this path. Otherwise, if we continue not encouraging them, we will continue blaming other members of the committees that they didn't do their work well. So, in short, what I meant is, I know the duties of an African woman. They can be too much for them to bear, or even to have another duty given to them, maybe from engineering society. But it is encouraging for them to be allowed to take part. I mean, the society can have some incentives such that members who are of the fair gender can take part in the meeting. That's what I'm saying. It would have been better. What did you take to ensure that Engineer Auma was able to have women in the review committee? You, as a feminine part of us.
I hear you.
What action did you take? It's not good for us to blame it on that Engineer Auma, a particular committee, for example, not necessarily a particular committee was not able to co-opt a lady. It is not fair. Yet you sit in the council. You could have at least, when the names are forwarded for that particular committee, you could have chipped in and given up some views or one or two. I don't think people have to be. The constitution says that the members of the committee must be corporate members. I think they're supposed to be members. You can co-opt even graduate engineers. Like right now, Diana is working with me on this webinar voluntarily. I looked for co-host. She completely agreed, and we are doing it. We make time. what did you do in that position to co-opt fair gender, the youth, the graduate engineers in committees or in other functions that can allow you to stand for another term in the council, term 2020, 2022?
What did I do?
Yes. For the fair agenda,
Hello.
for the youth, for the fair agenda, for the
When
youth.
I don't want to mention it. Are you still talking?
I can hear you. Can talk now.
He's
On
asking,
behalf of
like, yeah, he's asking what did you do to co-opt members to ensure that there is gender equality in the, or rather gender parity in the team?
I was very instrumental in the recruitment of the current CEO of IEK. I'm the one who identified Engineer Linda, and she was in my committee originally under the IEK, the Young Engineers Subcommittee. So when we were looking for a CEO, of course, originally we got somebody else, but when it didn't work, I was very instrumental in having Engineer Linda work for us. If you were keen at the World Engineers and that was because of my now inclusivity. I brought them, and they were not only young women engineers, they were also young men. The GEs who are working around, the guys who are working with the logistics were all the young engineers. The people who do our flyers are the young engineers in the name of inclusivity. But what I was supposed to, that made me say that the timelines that we give for the women to apply are never reasonable. I can now break it down and say that there are instances when even these committees are formed at night, when not at the council room. There are times when the committees are formed at night and they are ratified a stranger in the room who doesn't know, and everybody is proposing and seconding. Those things happen in the boardrooms, and I think when you get old enough, you'll see them. So in such instances, there's just as much as you can do. But in terms of what I have done, I've brought in a lot of young people into our activities.
All right.
Many women in the committees.
All right.
Yeah.
I get
One
you.
good example is the current CEO.
All right, Linda. Now,
Engineer Linda.
Yes. Now, my question is this now: what do you think should be done for us to avoid this idea of having boardroom meeting when women cannot attend?
I think you just have to observe the code of ethics, that everything should be done above board. There is a lot of secrecy that happens sometimes, not only in IEK, but all over, even where I work. People do, or sometimes when they want to agree on a vote, you'll find the men, they go to the gents, and they all go to the gents, and then when they come back, you find you are all alone. You are the only one who is not privy to what has been discussed in the gents. That is true, it's a fact. But what should be done is for people to be respectful and to be trustworthy and to discuss everything on the table.
So is there procedures for how committees are co-opted? Committee members are co-opted?
Yes, people are supposed to apply.
People are supposed to apply, and then
give ample timeline.
Are there, all right, and then
and you put it on the
website.
On the website, and
yes.
You give people ample time. Say yes, maybe 1 week, 5 days, from Monday to Friday.
All right, and
so that everybody can see.
And are there procedures on how meetings are supposed to be taken, or are supposed to occur?
How they are evaluated?
Not necessarily evaluated, but how meetings are taking place, when and how.
Yeah.
Then is it followed to the
But
letter?
when it comes to voting, That's why I'm saying sometimes when it comes to voting,
Yes.
become cheeky, and you
All
find 3 or 4 people following themselves to the gens.
All right, noted.
Then they come back.
Noted. Thank you. Abdi, you can
Yeah.
ask a question.
Hi, engineer. I hope you're doing good.
Abdi?
You know,
Yes.
I'd given my parting shot.
Yes. I just want to say, I'm not going to ask a question for that purpose. I just want to say thank you for the good work you have been doing, and I wish you all
Thank
the
you,
best.
Abdi. Thank you, Abdi. We'll continue working together with South Rift. Yeah.
The diaspora as well.
God willing, engineer.
Hello. Hello.
All right. So engineering.
I love you all engineers. I want to continue working with you.
All right. Thank you. Ndolo, do you have any comments?
Mine is just to say that I really thank Engineer Emelda ODHIAMBO for coming and being our guest tonight.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sorry I was not able to ask questions in the beginning because I was in a bit a noisy place next to.
Next time, there's always a next time.
So
Yes.
in short, I will maybe redo your parting shot for them. Now, Engineer Emelda is contesting for position of first vice president. This is a position that will enable her to work. Second vice president. This is a position that will enable her to work close and hand in hand with the president, and with the good work she's been doing at IEK, mentoring young boys and girls, especially the women's chapter. I therefore put her request to you that come 23rd of March, kindly come out in large numbers and vote. Voting is going to be electronically. That means you will have ample time to think, to reason, to collect, to review all the webinar videos that are posted on YouTube, that is being shared in Telegram. Kindly come out in large numbers, vote well, vote wisely, and long live IEK. Otherwise, I wish you all good night, and thank you, Engineer Emelda, for coming.
Good night. Thank you. I love you all.
Yeah, thank you, Engineer Emelda. Yeah, thank you for your time.
Diana.
Thank you a lot for your time. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
and I know about your passion for mentorship and for women. Even today in the morning, some women were praising you on the Telegram group because of your mentorship, Engineer Ogai and her team. Yeah, they were praising you on the Telegram group. So your mentorship can be seen with your mentees and continue. Continue the great work. And I'm wishing you all the best in your career and also in these elections.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time once more.
Diana,
we'll put up the video on YouTube.
Diana, thank you for hosting. Thank you, members who participated.
You're welcome.
Everybody, Obonyo, for your wonderful questions. Others.
Thank you.
Others who listened, I thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. I love you all.
Yeah. Love you too.
Thank you.